Before we used to see a cherry cat. Do we plan to bring that back?
ร่วมสนับสนุนโดย Autel Energy กับ MaxiCharger เพื่อตอบโจทย์ธุรกิจสถานีชาร์จไฟทุกรูปแบบ
Global CEO ของ ORA นะครับเข้ามาถึงสถานที่จัดงานนะเราก็จะมาถามคำถามกันเล็กน้อยนะผมลิสต์คำถามมาจากคนที่ถามมาในเพจนะครับก็ถามเฉพาะอันที่ถามได้แล้วกันเพราะว่าในส่วนของการดีไซน์น่าจะแต่ในส่วนของ Exterior Interior นะ UI UX ที่เป็นซอฟต์แวร์นี่อาจจะไม่ได้ตรงประเด็นเท่าไหร่เพราะว่าเขาเป็น Chief Designer นะไม่ได้เป็น Chief UX อะไรพวกนี้นะเดี๋ยวเราดูว่าจะถามอะไรได้บ้างแล้วกันนะครับอันนี้เป็น CEO ORA Global นะฮะเดี๋ยวเราจะมาฟังคำถามคำตอบเขาดูนะฮะ
ORA 产品在哪一个国家的市占率最高？
我知道这现在就是在泰国吧，泰国和欧洲。
ประเทศไทยแล้วก็ยุโรปนะครับเป็นตลาดที่ยังสำคัญและแข็งแรงของ ORA อยู่นะฮะ
因为我们起步比较早啊，泰国给我们的反馈也是最好的。但是随着我们后续的版图的扩延，92个国家和地区，我相信在其他的地区也会复制我们泰国的成功。
ก็ของประเทศในอนาคตนะครับแต่ว่าประเทศไทยก็ถือว่าเป็นตลาดที่แข็งแรงที่สุดนะครับและเขาก็ยกตัวอย่างที่มียูเซอร์จากประเทศไทยหรือน้องพลอยชมพูนั่นเองก็มาเหมือนกันนะครับ
สวัสดีค่ะพลอยชมพูนะคะ Hi everybody, I'm Jackie Weigel from Thailand. I'm really excited to be here, especially as an owner of the ORA Cat myself. Thank you,
So as the new energy label for GWM, do you think ORA need a wider product range than just two models?
首先呢，我们不是一个单的品类，我们从 A0 级一直到 BC 级，我们全品类都有，有轿车，有 SUV。在中国呢，现在新能源在高速发展，现在渗透率已经基本上达到了，甚至超过了50%的情况下，我们会发现，其实我们的 PHEV 的增长速度是最快的，那是结合着我们国家的用户的过往的用车经历，和他们以后场景所触达。家庭用户群体他们需要一台什么样的一台车所决定的，但是 BEV 呢将会是以后的一个新能源发展的一个终点，肯定是。我们现在整个北京车展，我们所有的新能源车其实都是同质化的一样的造型，比如说一条灯带是吧，灯的每一个位置都是在相同的，然后都模仿了美国的某一款新能源车一直去延续下去，大家伙迭代的方向都是一模一样的，而欧拉的在这个造型上头，它是独树一帜的，而且已经赢得了我们用户从20年11月份到现在3年多的认可。这款产品非常的不容易，这款产品呢，我们现在已经认为现在已经是一个全球经典的一个车型，因为它的造型，无论从某一个点，从一个装饰，从一条线，从一个弧面上，你稍加改动，你会发现这款产品都存在缺陷，所以说它是经典造型，现在是造型是人们关注这款车的第一个点，第二个点就是它的品质和它的体验。
Before we used to have ORA Black Cat and White Cat, which is a tiny one, smaller than the good cat. Do we plan to bring that back into the new platform?
黑白猫呢，在我们过去的新能源的市场的初期，它其实是作为一个非常可爱的一个产品，而且它的产品力、空间、续航各方面都不差。但是随着现在市场的一些发展，而对于 A00 级产品呢，其实是一个下滑的趋势，而且基本上 A00 级的3电系统能占到这个整个成本的大概70%左右的时候，如果盲目的去降低价格，其实会带来我们企业的亏损，当然也不符合人们对用车的场景上的一些诉求。A00 已经无法满足了。
Before we used to see a Cherry Cat show on the auto show, but we haven't seen that come to light. Do we plan for a larger size SUV which has a similarity of the ORA design in it?
之后我们会有 SUV 的规划但是我们基于平台一个优化。我们认为那款产品呢，其实不适应市场的用户的一些需求，我们重新做了一些个全新的平台的规划，重新的造型设计，包括智能化智驾系统，全部做了重新的匹配。
就是刚才在一个发布会有提到，就是目前欧拉40万用户，有大约75%是女性那么未来欧拉会不会有一些产品规划，就是可能比较中性或者比较阳刚的外观设计？
这款闪电的耀夜版其实就偏中性，还有我们还有一款暗夜版，它是哑光车漆，
对
哑光车漆就是偏中性。只要在我们的商场内，就是我们商超快闪店，只要一摆放，有很多的男性都会进店，而且它缩短了什么家庭第2台车、第3台车购买决策的周期。 女的喜欢，男的看着也不违和，我也能开。那大家伙其实一拍即合，就买回家了就。我们有很多的男性用户，其实在开着我们过去的黑猫、白猫、好猫。他们家里头其实在中国不一样，他们家里头可能是第2台车、第3台车，然后他们每天早晨起来给我的反馈，谁起得早，谁就能拿上那台电动车的钥匙，就去上班。他们是抢，我们家也是一样。
我也是以前的欧拉好猫 GT 的车主所以谁比较早就拿到那个钥匙。对，说的对。
Why the names are changing from cat names to 03 and 07?
这个猫呢，其实取决于我们那个中国的一些文化，人们对宠物的一些理解。而对于海外来说，我们就需要统一一个名字，那就叫03、07是这样以便于我们的这个记忆。
So we may be able to see the 09, the bigger one.
09，
欧拉09。
欧拉09，然后等待时机，到时候再说。
Let's hope in the future นะเผื่อจะได้เห็นนะครับโอล่า09นะฮะขอบคุณครับขอบคุณครับขอบคุณครับน่าจะตอบคำถามได้หลายประเด็นเหมือนกันนะครับเดี๋ยวดูว่าทางทีมดีไซน์เราเหลือเวลาพอถามหรือเปล่านะฮะ
So if you read about the ORA 07, a lot of them are always saying the front of the car have hints of a certain German car maker and the back of the car have hints of certain English car maker, for instance. What would you reply then?
Well, I mean, it's a compliment if I'm thinking the right cars. If you really look at those cars, you know, the front end of our cars, we have oval, almost circular type of headlamps. Some of the competitors that are like that, they're actually not so round in the shape of the lamps. The rear, I'm not quite sure who that would be from the UK. I presume maybe Bentley, I don't know. But our cars are actually quite different to a Bentley, even if that was a thought. I mean, ours are quite curved and there's a rounded shape in the rear, but it's not circular. Yeah, I mean, there's always cars that are similar. But let's be honest, you know, if you look at a lot of sedans, the same size as an 07, there's a lot of them at the show. You can walk around and you could really put them next to each other and they're very, very close. Edges, sharp lines, headlights like this, tail lights running through. You could name at least 10 cars, right? So with our car, it's still quite individual. Even if you draw parallels with other cars, it's still quite its own thing. We developed this form language specifically for ORA because it's an electric brand. And what we wanted to do was to give the customer a sense of harmony, a sense of a peaceful environment. So when you get inside the car, it's all full of rounded shapes. It's easy to use. And it's the same on the exterior. When you look at the exterior, it doesn't look aggressive like an off-road vehicle. It's meant to just be there like it's a piece of sculpture, like it's something from nature. Nature is where we've been inspired. The human being connected with natural forms. All natural forms are pretty much organic, rounded shapes. So that's our main inspiration. We want to develop within that kind of concept different ways to explore rounded shapes, the calm feeling. But of course, it doesn't mean copy the design from one to the other. They should all just evolve. As you can see, quite different, the two cars. Different roof lines, of course. One is a sedan, one is a hatchback. So I think it's something we want to evolve, but to continue this concept in the future.
The ORA 07 and the 03, they are both looks like a cat. So in future products, would you still continue this form of direction?
The cat name is used in China particularly, yeah. It's not used in Europe, but the cat was kind of one of the inspirations because a lot of Chinese people love cats. But it's not just that. The cat has this sort of thing where it's quite an intelligent animal. It's very elegant and it's also like ready to jump, you know, kind of quiet too. So it fits with the sort of the things I've been talking about, the calmness, the intelligence and the elegance. So that cat feeling, yes, but only in an abstract way. It's not like literally we want to make the car look like a cat. That's definitely my favorite color, right? So the reason is purely a design thing. Black on black on black, right? So that means it's got black wheels, black body, black windows. All the trim is black because it all looks integrated. So it's like when you're designing the first sketch, you're dreaming of something which is integrated, like one form, like you're designing a sculpture, yeah? And that black one actually makes it look the most integrated compared with anything else. Because normally, for example, you would have wheels in a different color, the lamps would stand out, you'd have chrome parts, you'd have transparent windows. This is the version I like the best of all, is the black car. This car here, I also like these light pastel shades. It's more a fashionable thing, and it's also got, you see the interior has got the matching kind of colors. So it's a different kind of feeling. Maybe it's really good for the female customer that likes this kind of vehicle, you know, and then you've got the really contrasting fabrics inside. So it's a really nice, an alternative to the, let's say, the more masculine black.
We have seen a similar face of the ORA Cat since 2020. Are we expecting to see all new ORA Cat?
Yeah, of course. I mean, these cars are currently the same ones as you mentioned, right? And we're just doing small updates. In the future, or next generation of cars is being developed or has already been developed. I can't talk about those in detail,
Understood.
but as I mentioned, they follow the same kind of form language, the same kind of aesthetic, but are improved in all areas. Like the shapes are more beautiful, more flowing. The quality of everything is more precise, or the gaps, the fit and finish, the way the car stands on the wheels is all improved. The interiors are improved with bigger screens, for example. Yeah? So it's just bigger updates. But you will see where the DNA comes from. The DNA will be visible immediately. The front ends, the rear ends, the side profile will still be instantly recognizable as an ORA, but you'll see, oh, that's something fresh. It is a new car. But I would say in the next year or so, you should be seeing some new vehicles coming out. Yeah, maybe 1 or 2 years, but I'm not the person to give that information.
How much of the influence on the design team into the UX?
That's a specialized subject, right? I mean, the UX is where we've got a team of people looking how customers use and interface, how they communicate with the car. So it's not something we get directly involved in design. We're doing more the hardware, but of course we will discuss with them. It could be something where you've got certain functions and they're on the big screen. Or it could be, they say, you know, those functions could be on the seat. They could be like adjusting the seat or opening the door or whatever. So sometimes there's dialogue about, you know, how we position certain functions.
If you are looking at the cat family at the larger size of the segment, maybe you would shift it up from the cat to a lion, a tiger, or like a code name which represent more than just the cat. So it should suit more variety of customer. Like a man can drive a tiger rather than a cat, for example.
Yeah. That's a good idea. We've never thought of that, actually.
Okay.
We've never thought of the animals. Tigers, jaguars.
Definitely.
I haven't thought of it literally like that, no.
Okay.
As I mentioned, we don't literally take a cat and start thinking about how a cat should be. The things I mentioned earlier, the big picture things, like the timeless, the feeling of always evolving and taking natural shapes, keeping them naturally beautiful, easy to use, the calming effect. That's a priority, not necessarily the cat. The cat is like, at one time, that might be influential, was influential. In the future, maybe not so much.
Okay.
Design is more of an international thing these days, you know. I mean, you could be designing these cars anywhere in the world.
What about the local design? Maybe have a local design center in some of the important market, like maybe in Thailand in the future or in some other.
We have a design center in Yokohama in Japan.
In Japan. Okay.
We have one in Munich in Germany, and we also have one in Turin in Italy.
เรียบร้อยนะครับก็คุยกับทาง ORA นะฮะก็มีหลายประเด็นที่ผมถามไปนะอย่างที่สรุปให้ฟังกันไปนะครับก็อาจจะมีเปอร์เซ็นต์ความเป็นไปได้ว่าเราจะได้เห็น ORA ที่เป็นรุ่นที่ใหญ่ขึ้นนะฮะแล้วก็ผมแอบแซวว่าถ้าเกิดเปลี่ยนเป็นแมวเนี่ยแต่ยังอยู่ในตระกูลแมวเช่นเป็นเสือเป็นสิงโตอะไรอย่างนี้จะมีหรือเปล่านะก็เดี๋ยวมาดูกันในอนาคตนะครับตอนนี้เหลือเวลาอีกไม่นานนะฮะก่อนที่เขาจะเรียกรวมพลดังนั้นผมต้องรีบพยายามไปเก็บนะจริงๆผมวิ่งไม่ทันนะฮะมันจะต้องแบบไปตามเวลาเนี่ยผมไปไม่ทันแล้วนะก็ได้เท่าที่ทำได้นะครับแต่คนมันก็น้อยลงนะฮะก็ดีกว่าเมื่อวานหน่อยนะครับเดี๋ยวขอสปีดอัพก่อนนะครับเวลาหน่อยเดี๋ยวไปไม่ทันทำเวลาหน่อย
ร่วมสนับสนุนโดย ORA Energy กับ MaxiCharger เพื่อตอบโจทย์ธุรกิจสถานีชาร์จไฟทุกรูปแบบไม่ว่าจะเป็นสถานีชาร์จไฟกระแสสลับ Maxi AC Wallbox สถานีชาร์จไฟกระแสตรง Maxi DC Compact Maxi DC Fast และ Maxi DC High Power ลิงก์รายละเอียดและช่องทางติดต่ออยู่ในคำอธิบายหรือสแกน QR Code นี้ได้เลยครับ